I'd like to speak in favor of the motion for approval, and I'll just say a few words about why this is close to my heart. When I was working my way through seminary, I worked at a group home for children. I worked at a group home for juvenile offenders. I also worked at a group home later for children in need of care who were removed from their home. It was at the later group home. My current wife is also the staff there. She and I met there, and having kids and caring for kids has been a part of our life ever since. We have been foster parents, licensed foster parents in Wyandotte County. We did emergency respite care for a number of cases for children in need of care. Welcomed these children not into our backyard but into our home when they were in crisis. And we did temporary care. We also did long-term foster care. I'm also an adoptive parent. I also worked as a police chaplain for 4 years and was called to scenes when kids were in crisis and had to be removed from the home. And if you have not been in the living room when children are being separated from their alcoholic, drunk out of their mind, passed out father on the couch, you have no idea the pain these children are going through. I've been there, I've seen it firsthand. These children need a home, they need to be cared for, it needs to be a home setting, and these kids need to be in a neighborhood. I also will say that this issue recently came to my neighborhood. I live in Normandy West, and the Oxford House bought a home and converted it into a group home for women who are recovering from alcohol and drug addiction, who have numerous criminal background issues, some of them, and some of them are court-ordered into treatment. Some of that includes a group home for women. As we did our research in our neighborhood, because there was a similar outcry in our neighborhood when a group home came in, we're not zoned for that, it's not licensed for that, it's a commercial facility, it's a group home, it's rental, it's all the things that are contrary to our codes. We talked to legal, we got a legal opinion. At the end of the day, the group home came in, and as we did our research, we found that there were a lot more complaints about women group homes than there were about men group homes, because the women group homes brought children, and the men group homes did not. And it is true, this Oxford home has been in our neighborhood for 2 years now, and there are a lot of children there. I have children who are 8, 9, 13, and 16, and my children play on the same street with the children in the group home. Just yesterday I was driving to church and it was raining, and one of the mothers was walking to Kmart with her son. I gave him a ride, visited with them on their way. It does take a village, and we need to welcome these kids in crisis into our homes and into our neighborhoods. And I know the emotional uproar, I experienced it myself. I'm the former president of my neighborhood association. And of course, when you're the mayor and there's an issue in the neighborhood, you're the first house they knock on. And after we got through the emotional issue and worked through all the layers, the bottom line, there's people who need to be cared for. They need a neighborhood and they need a home. And not only do I support this home in this location, because if it's not your neighborhood, I'm going to support this home in someone else's neighborhood. I would support this home in my own neighborhood. And I would support this home because we need to commend these children to your care. We need to commend these children who are in crisis, these Wyandotte County children, to a neighborhood that is loving and caring, who is compassionate, who has children or has raised children. I hope these children don't stay inside. I hope they get to play in that park. I hope these kids ride their bicycles up and down the street. I hope these kids have as normal as 72 hours at the worst moment in their life that they possibly can. And I hope as the emotions die down and as this project moves forward, that everyone will rally around and say, you know what, we didn't ask for this, but I believe there's a calling, and I hope the neighborhood will rally to support these kids in their time of crisis, welcome them with open arms, wave to them as they drive by, and let them know that their time of crisis is being met with compassionate people in Wyandotte County. I do not like sending our urban kids to rural areas It's a very foreign environment for them. I want our kids in our city. And as a respite home for foster care, current respite home for foster care, I appreciate the value of having kids in an environment that is as familiar as possible until they can find a permanent placement. Friends, we have too many kids that need care, and while it's hard at first when it's in your neighborhood, I hope you will answer this calling, and you will be as welcoming to these children as you would your own, because they need your care more than ever. Thank you.